Hello. I'm actually redoing a video that I made last week about the Osiris myth. Um, I guess there was issues with the sound. It's recorded on my computer, but it's not working. So I'm gonna redo that video. So to start, we are gonna work with the Egyptian pantheon, specifically the Osiris myth. So, my beliefs, personally, are that all these religious stories they could be real people in real life, and I don't deny the energy of specific gods and goddesses or Jesus or whoever your savior is. But I really believe that they are like specific archetypes and metaphors for spiritual transformation. So, that being said, we're going to work with the archetype of Osiris. So, the Osiris was the king god of Egypt, and he was the patriarch. He symbolizes to me like tradition, patriarchal values, and what I want to do is kind of work with the energy of the myth or the archetype. So I'll this is a very brief story, but I'll explain the whole story of Osiris. And then what I'd like to do is kind of do a video series where we use the symbols and the story of Osiris in parts for transformation within ourselves. So, Osiris, the basic story is there's Osiris, Isis, Set, and Nephthys. They're all a family. They're all gods in Egypt. Osiris is the king. He's the leader. Set is his brother. Osiris's wife is Isis, who's the healer, magic. Set is kind of like the shadow. He symbolizes like violence, chaos, and Set wants to overthrow Osiris. There's a couple different forms of the story, but the one I'm using is Set throws a party, and he invites everybody in the kingdom to come, and he has this chest or this wood box, and it's very beautiful, ornate, and he says whoever can fit inside of it can keep it. So everyone's trying to get in there, nobody really fits. Osiris goes in and he locks them, and he sends them down the river, and he travels down the river, and he dies, or he's dying, and Isis figures out what's going on. She goes looking for him. She finds him, and she goes to take him to heal him, and Set steals him and cuts him up into little pieces and scatters him across the land. And Isis and Nephthys and other gods try to bring him back together and heal him, reincarnate him, whatever you want to call it. So after that, she heals him and brings him back to life, but he becomes the king of the dead. And Isis and him make a child, Horus, who is like the Messiah, the new beginning, the Jesus. And he symbolizes like the evolution. There's a lot, but yeah, so that's the basic story. And then Horus eventually fights Set for the throne and takes it back, and loses an eye in the process. So the basic story is that tradition, symbolically tradition, and the patriarch, the old standard, serves a purpose, but through chaos and interaction with the world, always has to change and evolve to become something better. Horus. And, you know, the Osiris, the old tradition, doesn't see it's always changing. There's always, you have to always change with nature and evolve. So what I'd like to do is start with the first part of that story, which is Osiris is put in a box and killed. So to me, it symbolizes, that part of the story symbolizes tradition always putting us in boxes. There's always a rule, and you're always in this encased. So what I wanted to do is work with that part of the myth, journey to Osiris with that part of the myth, and that thought in mind of like what is holding us in this box. You know, what's holding us back? What ideal is structuring the way we perceive everything, and is it serving us? All right, so we're gonna journey. Part of my thing fell off. To work with Osiris, and we're gonna work with his myth, and this is gonna evolve to a couple videos that break down the whole story and kind of work with us to evolve. So on 3, we're going to take a deep breath with the intention of working with Osiris and the myth to see what is keeping us in that box. What is locking us down? What ideals, tradition is not allowing us to see the bigger picture. All right. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. If you want to write anything down that you observed, I'll share what happened with me. I felt my left side, which I connect to feminine energy, and I felt my shoulder, which I connect to should, as well as feminine. It's your mother's side, issues with your mother. I felt like my structure is about like what my mom thinks I should do, which is definitely true. It's very, her ideals were very driven on me. And I just felt like that I need to release that and focus on the heart center, what you feel, follow your heart. I also felt a lot of energy around my crown, kind of clearing out. It felt very like structured in a way, the energy, and it felt like I feel like it shifted internally. Hopefully you felt the same. I'd like to continue with the story. The next video will be about how he got cut up into pieces. So it's kind of cutting whatever doesn't serve you. So we'll work on that next week, that part of the myth. So hopefully you enjoy. If you have any questions, thanks for your support. Thanks for continuing to support me on Patreon. I appreciate it. I'm always an open book too. If you have any questions, you want to reach out to me, feel free. Thank you.